That is what you should be looking for. A man who could stand up and do what he has to do.
That is why I was trying to
Don't
get
just
to.
look at dollars and cents. Where is the line of too young? And is it at 18?
And if they leave these children unattended, the future does not look bright at all.
Guys, what do you think church people are afraid of when it comes to speaking openly about sex?
This is before marriage?
Before, yes.
Wait.
Listen.
I just asked.
Calm down.
Hold on. This is before marriage. While Yes. Welcome to another edition of the Talk Heavy podcast. I am yours truly, Justice. Here to keep the vibe light, but the talk heavy. All right, so it's another wonderful Wednesday afternoon in the Twin Island of Trinidad and Tobago. It's been a lovely week so far. The weather has been very bipolar, though, I must admit. 1 minute is rain, I get a little drizzle running to my car, you understand? Then all of a sudden it's hot sun. You know, I had to turn down the temperature in my AC. All right. Shout out to each and every one of you joining us live right now on the Mended Studios Facebook page. All right. And shout outs to you even after we go live. You want to jump back on to be a part of this conversation. All right. So topic of today is our music the problem? How is our music influencing our society, our youths, everybody in general? All right. This, of course, stemming from a recent incident that happened. I think it was over the weekend or sometime last week. I'll just read a short snippet. Sound system owner was stabbed to death. Man who wanted DJ to play only Gaza and gunman music, right? Rishi Masti, the owner of a sound system, was stabbed to death by a man who wanted the song Gaza and Gunman played on repeat by the DJ at a bar last Saturday, that is, right? In Manzanilla, the suspect kept harassing Masti until a security guard intervened. The suspect then got a knife and stabbed the owner about his body. Masti was rushed to hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. All right. So that had me thinking, boy, is music really an influence? I've heard a lot of people say that over the years, and I've also heard a lot of people say, nah, I mean, it's just music. How could that be the driving factor to a person's behavior or how they react to certain situations? You understand? Because at the end of the day, music doesn't make you. You understand? That's some of the arguments on some sides, right? So here to have this heavy conversation with me, I have some brothers and a real sister, right? We have on the inside Sterling Roberts, SRM Music, right? And another premium gospel artist, no stranger to Talk Heavy podcast, Brandon Best.
Wagwan.
And a sister from long time, Lady Lava. Welcome to the Talk Heavy podcast. What's going on?
Hi.
How are you feeling, boy?
Always, I don't have problem.
You're the lady, you're the rules, right, you know?
All right.
Yeah.
Take that one.
I think everybody in here has done family already because
Yeah.
even before the show starts, you know, it's a good healthy rapport, right? So we're gonna talk heavy. We're gonna have an open conversation. What all you heard about this situation over the weekend?
Yeah.
What went through all your mind reading that story here and he talks about it and whatnot?
You want to go?
All right. No
Anybody?
For me, that was, you know, like when people go too far, boy. You know, like to be so serious for what it is you want to hear and to go that distance, to me felt real extreme, number one. And then two, but I'm a person who also always want to find out, like, all the information, what would, you know, cause something like that to happen.
Sure.
You know, because from what we were told, or from what we heard from the publication or what we read, is that the individual wanted Gaza gully type music. The DJ refused. There was some altercation, and then outside in the parking lot is where everything happened. But I always want to make sure I get all the information, because sometimes there may be certain things that we're not privy to or hasn't been.
I miss.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we just take it just from that perspective, I would say that that's very extreme though, for a music choice. Now, somebody just kind of send their life left totally, just for the sake of a song not being played or a particular genre.
Yeah, I agree. I think you step into the realm of that person. You know, they have clearly he has more issues than music, right? He does have more issues than music. But I mean, music is a factor.
Yeah, it is. It is.
We can't deny that music is a factor, because his argument or his issue was, now again, we can't speak to his mental state because we don't know as yet.
Right.
True.
All right, we don't know whether or not he was, maybe, because you know in some situations it may have been that it could have been anything he was asking for. He was just in the mood to fight.
Right.
He was just in the mood.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
If he was asking for a Brian McKnight,
Correct.
Yeah.
if he would have behaved the same way,
Right.
That's
yeah.
a real
understand?
good. That yeah.
Exact-
Correct.
That's one of my points. If we want to say because of the thing that he was asking for, and not look at the individual itself, being that the individual probably had a problem, because I will give you an example, right? So this happened with respect to music, but sometimes we have a lot of road rage in Trinidad and Tobago, and the road rage necessarily sometimes is not because of the bad drive you get. The road rage is because of 20 things that happened earlier on in the day, and this particular thing happened now, and it's like a trigger. And I think that a lot of things in Trinidad is like a monster. It building, it's like a hurricane. It building, and one day it's just going to happen. And at that point in time, he just decide, well, okay, you know, sometimes you're going through life and I can't pick on him because he's bigger than me. And you know, I can't pick on you. You abusing my home, and I can't deal with you. And, I can't deal with you. But now I come out in the public and I feel like I could bully somebody.
Correct.
Right.
And I decide to make this person my target because I feel like this person is a weak individual that I could prey on, and I am going to do it.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Right?
so it is a matter of monkey know what tree to climb.
Yeah, it's a matter of people have issues. People living in society with issues that they're not dealing with correctly, and it just wait until it explode. And when it explode now, it will just be whoever this. Because okay, you kill your wife. You kill your wife because she won, yeah? That's a you problem. That's a problem that you have issues before.
Right.
You understand? You have issues within yourself that you probably never deal with. So now your self-esteem already destroyed probably. You understand? So now something with you and your wife, infidelity. You decide to murder your wife. Sometimes your wife and your family. What we're going to say now? That because he murdered his wife, because she cheated on him, okay. What we're going to do, discard women who have sex outside of the marriage, we're going to discard the whole species of female because of this one incident that caused somebody to kill. No, we're not going to do that.
Well, that's-
the reality,
Yeah, I feel it.
That's a very interesting point. So it begs to ask now, how influential really is the music, right? How is it really one of the driving factors of a person's behavior, especially young people?
Correct.
Right. Yeah. I get what you're saying. For me, it may not be like the end all be all, but I believe that music, when done in a particular way, could influence the younger society in a particular vein. The same way, like let's go into education, for example, right? In order to train a child, no, in order to train an individual for life or in a particular pattern that may be beneficial for them, you have to start at a particular age. an age where you know they're able to receive and in a way that is
The
like
most impressionable.
exactly. So you start education predominantly for kids,
Yeah.
right? You start teaching them how to read from small. You start teaching them different things for nations, all these other different things. You start making it like building blocks for them. And when kids, especially younger people, they're like sponges. They literally could
Soak
take
up
in
everything.
and soak up. And I think it's music is one of the driving factors. Sometimes, I mean, we even like, all right, for us who do music, we know there are some people who would literally like take your stuff like Bible.
Correct. Yeah.
Like Bible. You could say whatever it is you say and they will build their life on it. I could remember for example, DJ Nicholas, right? It just came to mind. DJ Nicholas, he was heavily into a particular type of lifestyle.
Right.
And he said there were certain people he mentioned and they were singing some songs like notable people in history who music influenced, like changed culture as we know it. And he said one particular song, the person said, "Bend down low, let me tell you what I know." He said he literally used to bend down to the ground listening.
Correct. Yeah.
And he listening for and it sounds to us like questionable and dumb, but they used to be listening to that. I think he also told about Ride Natty Ride, another song. He said he stole his brother's bicycle, rode from where he was living in Constance Springs, went to
Right.
Mandeville, looking for the particular individual he was serving. If you understand what I mean. So the examples that I just brought there is these are people who build their lives behind the people who are like they consider role models, examples. And these are young people who take that like to extreme. We might just say we just saying it and just expressing it.
Right.
But they know at that age is a different type of mentality because remember they're still fashioning. Some people still aren't safe or steady with their own identity.
Correct.
So now they literally like grabbing from spots.
So you don't think it's a community problem?
Yeah, but every community, I would say yes, but every community is made out of individuals.
Right.
Yeah.
So, alright. So, with me and with respect to like music, music has an influence on people, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I will ask, the same people in Westmoreland listen to the same thing
Right.
that the people in other areas listen to, right?
Right.
Why we get different response from the two individuals that listen in the same music?
Right. It's all dealing, remember, that's a very good question. For me, and Brandon, always jump in. Huh?
Yeah.
For me, it's all back to the same point I was just bringing there. Some people build their lives around influencers.
Why you think that some people build their life around influencers when other children don't do it? Is it because they themselves don't have steady role models in their life
That could be
they
one.
have to look on into society searching for somebody to look up to them, right? Because for me, I am against gang violence.
Right.
I have nothing with bad man music because for me I think music is an expression of self, right? Craft, music is craft. Creativity, one, and experience, two, emotions and them things, right? Alright, and not every day, if we being real, not every day you're going and get up and say, you know, you're all so happy and no. Someday you would sing about what's going on around here.
Right.
Right? Someday you would sing about something else.
Right.
And I think I could be wrong, why it is a lot of young people gravitate to this is because other than this music, who else do I have to turn to, or who else do I have to listen to me? Who else do I think feeling the same way that I am feeling? Because this person now in this song saying, I wake up in the morning and I'm hungry. Let me just say the start so.
Right.
From the time you hear that you get up in the morning, you're hungry. Right? This song now becomes relatable to you.
Right.
Right? So you now we start to own this song. You know why? Because why how this man know that way?
Yeah.
He's singing the same thing that I
Going
basically
through.
this
Correct.
is what I going through.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I will come back now to probably me. I will make myself an example now. When it is I was younger and probably going to church and doing them things. as I was telling you,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
write everything.
Right.
I would write everything because I didn't feel like if I had nobody to go to.
Right.
So I would write it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wouldn't feel like if the music that I was hearing at the point in time, it have nothing to deal with struggle.
Right.
You know, back then we didn't have gospel
Yeah.
like how we have gospel
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
these guys
Yeah, yeah.
change it and actually put emotion in it, things that you're going through on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
They have it now. But before that, it was not really like that. It was strictly on creator,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Or on the Bible stories and them things. So now, when my mother and myself, if we have a falling out, I want to hear Eminem
Mm.
because I feel like if
You have a problem with
you
your mother.
know,
It's the truth. You
like,
have a problem
me
with
and
him.
you know he have this issue with his mother and he expressing himself, so
Yeah.
it helped me
Mm-hmm.
because this is me now. I not telling my mother not come and my car tell her big woman. Understand what I'm saying? You know my mother.
Eminem living in America.
She dreamt. You understand what
You
I'm
living
saying?
in Trinidad.
I can't tell my mother nothing. So in other words, now I put on the music
Right.
and I would listen to relieve and sing it out and say the words and
Yeah.
express myself.
Right.
Right? So now these young boys do the same thing.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Yes, some end up over the fence really, really, really bad.
Right.
Right? But this is why I just always bring the point that I think in Trinidad is a community problem. Where it is, if we really want to rectify the problem, it's a community problem. Why we have people in society who is positive energies in society, right? And the positive energies in society do not look upon the struggling people in society, right? Why it is the negative entities, which probably see them as praise, we don't know. Could be you see them as praise, or you could probably see them as, yeah, you really want to assist. We don't know.
Right.
Right? But why it is the negative entities always quick to render assistance to the struggling, right?
Yeah.
Or why it is the people that people deem to be the good ones in societies would actually see children that they're going along the way. Or you're seeing like something not right with them. You know it within your heart, you will be behind a curtain and you'll just be like, yeah, you know that kind of
Yeah.
way. We're not even saying good morning.
Correct.
And I tell them, it have youths that you could tell them good morning, or they might talk to adult might shun them because they feel like what them on the side of the road, they don't want to have a conversation with them. You understand? You don't want to speak to them, but you can't do that. You have to be able to first interact with people to know if they have a problem. And I think that is why it become a community problem now, because the negative entities investing in the praise. The positive energies now, we're not saying nothing. We're not coming up now to say, well, we assisting them, so we have no say in what they're doing in their life. We have no say at all. Because in the end of the day, if I hungry and negative feed me, positive can't tell me nothing. Because when I wanted my bread, you didn't help me. Right? And now we're not saying that we have to do this and that these people depend on, but we're just saying if we want to have our input as to say, well, Ollie shouldn't say this, or Ollie shouldn't sing this, or why Ollie singing this, because a lot of people just come on media and you know that this be talking and thing, right? If you want to have that input, then have other inputs so that the change will start.
Yeah.
So you're saying the positive, we're talking music. We're
Yeah.
talking, you're saying the positive influencers in terms of music need to do more.
Not necessarily music. I talking about society itself, because
Yeah.
music is just when you reach in the studio, you know. But the millions of things that happen before you reach in the studio is what you're going to write about.
Correct.
And that is where your story does change. Half of the people, if they leave Trinidad and they go to our next country or they start to travel, you will realize the music does change.
I agree.
'Cause
Experience
the
is changing.
environment change. The things that they are wrong on a daily basis, it change. You understand? So
Yeah.
now they start to bring different energies because, hey, we know about this now, boy. Hey, me know. But when they right here, and this is all you know when you get up in the morning, everybody does say, I just want to know who is really the bad people in Trinidad and Tobago. Because when it is I seeing, like let's just say, a man kill his grandmother, and you go in the comments, the upholding citizens of Trinidad and Tobago is going to comment, if was me, I kill it. we is a community of violence. There is preach violence in Trinidad every day. So if we're preaching violence in Trinidad every single day, how are they would be upset if this is what you're getting?
Yeah, but I think that's also the point as well. So this is so, and I appreciate all that Lava said, because I mean, I'm all for balance. I believe that if that evil persists when good men do nothing. Now I also believe that as influencers, and we have all admitted, music does have an influence. Music has an influence. My 2-year-old listens to music to learn.
Yeah.
She grows by listening to music to learn.
Right.
She has learned to, her development has been because of music. I learn on music. You relate through music.
Yeah.
We capture our stories and expressions
From
through
ABC,
music.
from ABC.
So it's a gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift from God given to us to experience, and it's an emotional connection. And I believe that I agree with her that it's a community issue.
Yeah.
No, but I also agree, or I would also want to add that this is why our music could affect our communities as well. Because, for example, all the traditional families in Trinidad and Tobago had a higher standard of morality. They had a higher expectation. I could not have walked down the street and not tell a person good morning.
Yeah, that's true.
But then if we culture the youths and we culture them in a way that they're programmed now that being bad is the more, how to put it, the more attractive thing. Being the Zessa boy, the gunman boy, you know, Pablo is the more like that's the right, that's the more way that they want to interact. And then when these young men, they might disrespect women. So they might say, all right, cool, well, this man here, boy, he's singing, but yeah, real woman. So it's a good thing for me to have plenty of women because it's glamorous to do so.
Yeah.
So I get plenty of women. I guess I have children. And I leave all them women because the man or the song, all he was doing was he just had a woman. He didn't tell me I had to mind children. He didn't tell me I had to be a responsible citizen. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
He didn't tell me that I had to be a responsible citizen. He just tell me, boy, have sex.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
Now I have children. These children are growing up now in a broken society.
Yeah.
Because I am, as a father, supposed to now guide this child through morality. But then the music that trained me did not train me on morality.
To do that.
All right, let me stop you right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Why music had to train you?
Well, because we have a cycle of broken families.
Okay.
No,
So
I
you see
no, but
where it
understand,
come from?
but understand what I'm
The
saying.
cycle of broken
Correct.
families.
But this is what I'm saying. So when does it stop? Because you see, we now have to play our part in society. Now I am a father. I'm a Christian. I'm a gospel artist. So I play my part by teaching my daughter, teaching my wife, being a part of the young people I'm around in my circle. I'm saying, okay, this is the morality, and I'm trying to push forward moralities in our country because we need it.
Yeah.
As you rightfully said, we have a violent society. We have a society that is on edge, and what we do is that we laugh at our pain. So
exactly.
we are very good at laughing out.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that when it comes close to home, people don't know how to control themselves. So they snap. And Trinidadians do this very often. But the music doesn't help the problem because we are already facing a community
So
issue.
you think if the community itself change, do you think that the story that is being told will change also?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
I
it
believe
will.
the story will change. I
Yeah.
believe the story will change.
Yeah. I believe so.
It must change. For example, if your father is encouraged to now get back into your life, to play an active role, the way that you see the world starts to change, you know.
Yes.
The things that you start to talk about start to change. You experience
And
love in a different way.
That's why I said that, because, all right, with me, I get a church foundation.
Yeah.
My mother gave me a foundation of right and wrong,
Correct.
manners, and all these things. So regardless of if I went so, and I went
You
so,
still have
and I
a-
singing whatever I singing, I still have these morals inside of me.
Correct.
I still have this foundation, regardless of what, because at that point in time, yes, I listening to all kind of things, because I hiding and listening to it.
Right.
But the foundation that I receive, your foundation will always be there.
Correct.
Yeah.
No matter what I try to do this and I try to do that, whatever I try to do, your foundation will still be there.
Yeah.
And this is why I just say, if the community itself change, then you have no guns to sing about.
Well,
Or you have
well,
no,
I agree.
You
Yeah.
have no
I
this to
agree.
sing about.
Love, I
But
agree with you.
Until
Play with
Yeah.
play with
Until-
music in the communities. Then you
Yeah.
come down there.
Until that
Yeah, you understand?
until that happens, you're going to have this problem that we have now.
I agree with you.
Until that happen, and that's the reality. You're going to have it because I'm getting up in the morning and I see a man there, he have a 4-5. I maybe never bust the gun, but when I go to right now, all these things that in my subconscious mind that I saw for the whole week is
Right.
going to play a part in my music. It's going to come. It's going to rhyme with something else.
Why we
that
don't?
I just
Why we
rhyme
why
with.
we don't
I
tell
love-
the why we don't tell the neighbor, the man, the same man? Why we don't tell him to about how not to put to not to use
All right,
guns?
a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
Let
A
me.
lot of people do that same thing, and just now, a lot of people do it. So, this is the next thing. What we being faced with, right? Some people look at music as your main source,
Right.
all right? Now we living in a social media world,
Correct.
right? Where everything has to be social media approved. And when I say social media approved, it's like we in the room here, I sing a song, everybody find it bad. All right, now let me go live. When I go live now, the people on the live now will judge whether this really bad or it not bad.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of people in the social media realm no. So it will have youths that will be in studio and we'll say, yeah, that's that bad boy. Right? Because we say mix it up, balance. We're looking for balance.
Correct.
Right? Balance, okay. And they go and they say, yeah, this man was a good man, and they go on live and they get 2 flames. Right? You have a man to pay in the back there, the producer, you have to pay his still, you have to pay for studio time. Alright, cool. And then you say you get 2 flame, and then you go on back now, and you say, and I run out with my matter, and you say you get 29 flame, you go on viral. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree with you, yeah.
So, where you feel like going on do? We going on get paid.
Yeah.
Right? So, sometimes, you send out and out.
I understand demand and supply.
You send out
Demand
that
and
because your money gonna come back.
I understand
Let me- I
demand and
want to-
supply, but does that heal the problem?
I want to stick up in right there. I want to ask Sterling a question based on what he was saying before, right? But I want to introduce into the
Rankin!
conversation Mr. Squeezy Rankin. What's going on, bro?
Squeeze.
Bang, bang. What is you know, brother?
So you know what we talking about here, the conversation so far, right? We know he's a man would have always been heavy on this topic in
Many
terms of the
words.
music and whatnot. There we here now. Talk to me. Talk heavy.
Well, I listened to what Lava said, I hear what I'm saying, because when the topic is music influencing what's going on in society today,
Yeah, is our music the
Problem.
problem? Is the music the part of the problem, a big part of the problem
in society.
in society?
see, right? Why does always say this now? We as a people, we don't always try to look for somebody or something to blame for we mistakes or we faults now. Right? The reason why a lot of us will always try to say, well, music is part of the problem now. I want to ask this question, right? How much the negative music, as everybody else call it, how much youths listening to that? Or how much people listening to that on a daily basis?
A lot of people. A lot.
I would say
A lot.
Based on
Let me see out of give a ratio. Out of 100,000 people, how much you believe listening to it?
to give out to
Over 50%.
Probably, yeah.
Over the average.
Over 50%, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, let me say 60,000 out of 100,000 listening to the music, right? And out of that 60,000, how much of them you believe robbing and shooting and killing or whatever? How much of them do you know the violence through the music?
I think not the majority actually acting out on it. I
Right.
I
Now,
wouldn't
music is
say
something
so,
what I
but
deal with with
but we
subconscious.
don't. But of course we don't have statistics to really to prove.
No,
anything.
it's a fact, you know, a
Irish.
fact, right? Let me just take music. Let me take music and entertainment on the whole out of the equation, because if you want to talk about what affecting society, you can't just talk about music alone, because music is just the theory idea, right? Whereas we have movies and stuff for the show with the practical of the whole thing now.
Facts.
A man or a woman will talk about how they will do something in a song, whereas a movie now will show you how to do it.
Ah.
You
Good
understand
point.
what I'm saying? Right? And music, as Lava was saying earlier, music is something where a man or a woman does express their feelings now, express their experience, and so if it is we take all the songs on them and we like talk it out, and we sing it. No music behind it, no melody behind it, and you just listen to the story. Right? You know will find, but the story will touch it, right? Because our song. And we like to say that negative music is something that all the youths gravitate into, right? But watch it like this. If you sing a negative song, or you post something negative, and nobody even listen to it, once, you do it twice, you do it 3 times, and nobody paid no attention, do you think you will post a negative song again?
No.
Yeah, but okay, so Squeezy, let me ask a question then, if it's possible, because I mean your question is also based on that's a call and response. So, for example, is my responsibility to put out positive music just based on the fact that people don't listen to it or not? Because if it is, because what I'm saying is that should I have at least some kind of responsibility for my community and my society? I should at least be able to say that even if they don't listen, even if they don't listen to it. Do I now say, all right, I'm a gospel artist. Before I bust, I put out about 2-3 songs before I bust. Before this kind of love went viral, countries. Before that happened, plenty songs did not go no way. But that didn't mean that I forsake my responsibility. I still feel as though.
No, remember, you feel like that is your responsibility.
But isn't it all our responsibility? So,
no, all right, but. Some people have where you might just have it as that's your responsibility. Some people have it where it's responsibility and survival. If you understand what I'm saying. In life, it has something called survival. Many years ago, we had a lot of love. We was living on a lot of love. And the truth is, right now, we're living on a lot of survival. So,
because you're gonna know, right? With society, you're going to society. We only talk about society and music, but what's going on in society is that we start to accept and glorify a set of mediocrity now. Everything mediocre, we glorifying mediocrity right now.
Yeah.
Right? And because we're doing that, this is why the music reach how it reach.
Yeah.
This is why entertainment reach how it reach.
Yeah.
Right? Because, all right, I'm asking this question again. You believe if I was only playing gospel music on all the radios and on all the radio stations, you think it would not crime still?
No, I don't believe it wouldn't have crime, but I believe that that crime would decrease greatly. I honestly believe that.
You really believe that the crime will decrease greatly?
I absolutely believe that.
A man who dealing with violence, right? With that song, he doesn't only listen to that song. I believe they my opinion because they why went through their face.
Yeah.
After a man done make up to do what you have to do, you will listen to this song. That's a high pain. You're God, but yes, but you will die. You go do. Right?
Or Squeezy, sometimes Squeezy, when they done do it already, they come back and they now listen in the song because they do something like this, so they could be able to relate to it. They done do it already. It's not the song.
So they want to affirm.
Right?
But they want to affirm. But they want to affirm their negativity.
Yeah, but it's the same thing the papers doing.
Negative things. Most of the negative things.
I don't disagree.
The newspapers doing the same thing.
I don't disagree. I also agree that the demand is also a problem. I believe that our media, our stations, everything is a problem as well.
Our mainstream media is
right.
the main problem.
Let me just ask one question here now. How? What? Give me a reason, right? Why it is the same way how a lot of people will come out and say the music at Trinidad and Tobago, which is the gunman music, they will speak loudly on it, right? But they would never go and say, okay, the papers, whole news, they're responsible. Hold them. Go and protest and say news. They're not doing that. You know why?
Because but we don't really have a protest against artists though in Trinidad.
No, on Facebook, it have people who they always loud about it. They loud about Trinidad gun music. They loud about it.
Right.
But they're not loud about Newsday. And I will tell you, I stopped buying papers. Because I just find like all the good stuff that's been in the back of the papers and it is sell for years.
Correct,
years they're doing and it's selling. So why all people mad now? The
all
same
the
people
stuff,
who create any papers.
In front of papers.
Exactly. The same people who create any papers will now come and talk and say, yeah, you know them boys. It's the same thing they're doing.
Yeah, but
okay.
okay.
Yeah. We don't watch news if we don't want nothing negative.
Yeah.
We don't watch the news.
But they see that is...
We want to know how many people there.
People like that.
I agree. No.
And no, you was saying, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Listen to right? Artists, most artists, they just be telling a story most of the time. Most of the artists who singing them gunman song and whatnot, most of them is living that life.
Right.
right? Like one.
Looking forward.
Number two, every artist's dream is to be somebody,
Yeah.
a big artist, right? And if they're doing the responsible thing, as you say, and to bring positive music and it's falling on their face, and they're seeing everybody else getting through with this negative vibes, they will jump there because they want to be artists. They want to feel like somebody, as Leila was saying earlier on. Remember, we live in a social media time, anyone. A lot of people are looking to social media for validation, right?
I agreed.
It's social media invalidated, it's not good, and all these kind of things. And plenty of the youths now, especially the other point, boy, the lost now.
Yeah.
That sense that.
But,
Yeah,
if
like
we,
we say that.
but we know that if
They believe that they had to try to fit in. They don't understand that they want to stand out.
right.
Right? So now we live in a time here now where, as I said before, mediocrity is something great. Everything that we learned
It flipped.
as youths coming up was the right thing, now perceived to be the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because look at, you're on the job site and you see crap going on the job site, and you decide, you know what, I'm gonna speak out against that. You could lose your work,
Yeah.
right?
But
you
then
could lose your work for that.
But then I see.
Right?
Okay, sorry. But what I'm saying is that I don't see this as a reason or an excuse for us to now promote. So if I could recognize that there's a problem with my society, a problem with me, a problem was happening, then if by me speaking out causes me to lose my job, then I may have started something revolutionary. You see, the problem is that long time musicians used to want to do that. Musicians used to hold on to a statement. Look at the Bob Marley's, different people, they held on to a statement until they saw change happen. We live in a realm where we allow society to tell us and make us do anything they want. Now, just because the society currently has an appetite for badness does not mean that their appetite can't change again. Just like anybody goes through any dietary change.
Let me just stick a pin right there, right? We have a call on the line. Hello, good evening. Talk heavy.
Hi, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Hi, good evening.
So, I just want to add something right now. I don't really like falling too much on these type of programs, but I feel I'm going to add my 2 cents to it.
Go through.
Rather than focus on the negativity, let me just say what I did see as an onlooker, right? Brandon is trained in sales and marketing, right? If you look at Brandon's comments on Facebook or anything he does, he's trained in sales and marketing, right? Look at the recent post with J Prince, right? On
Caller?
the comments,
Hello, caller?
he made up for party.
Yeah, a bit soft. I don't know if
Yeah.
a
Volume
bit
is kind of
soft.
soft.
Let's go.
Let me just you hear me better now?
Yeah.
A little
A little
better.
better there. Go through.
Alright, yeah. So Brandon is trained in sales and marketing. I'm not saying all of this to say something as artists and people, whether it's gospel artists, secular artists. You don't focus on marketing and sales effectively. Think it is now. I just tip my hat off to what Squeezy does be doing on the road. I tip my hat off to that. But really, I just want to catch a massive crowd. Now, I don't want to stray too much and I don't want to say, but I would want to touch on something else again. JD, a mastermind.
Yeah.
A lot of things, right? So everybody has a niche and everybody have different things that they specialize in apart from music. Now, the common line here is music, right? But we had to go more into, so I just be looking at Brandon PDS. I look at something with voice. When voice do that sort of live, voice lives and the amount of people with you on that live. Now, again, I don't want to stress too much on negativity.
Yeah,
I just want us to
customers
say, as artists as well, it has other things that we could be doing to create that brand alignment. And some artists, do we have a brand identity? Do we have colors that represent us? Do we have a particular thing? Do we have a logo? Do we have? So sometimes we talk about the negativity and sales and we're not selling, album not selling. But are we really putting in the work? Do we really treat our music like a business? Do we treat it like an entity? So again, that's just all I want to say. Right? So as we go forward, not to focus, because as well as we must have the negativity in it as well by itself. So I believe every single body music could sell as well. But it all depends on how we make it palatable to the audience. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah, man. Thanks for your contribution.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You know what I realize? And it's like, I really appreciate the realness of Lava,
And
Squeezy.
For sure.
For real. I really appreciate that.
Some big
And my
ones.
bro, Brandon, I really appreciate the because to be honest, in order to deal with a situation, we had to make sure we air out a lot of different things that we
Correct.
may or may not be touching on.
Yeah.
So that is number one.
Yeah.
What I've realized is based on what Squeezy was saying, what Lava was saying, what Brandon was saying, there are certain elements that we need to pay attention to in order to have that consistent level of what we call positivity, what we call in the gospel, like that righteous movement.
Correct. Yeah.
And what that happens is, now I understand from what Squeezy was saying that a man might say, hey, I do about 2 or 3 of this, nothing will happen, it's best I jump this ship and go the next side.
Yeah.
But you see, the basis, what I realized from that decision is really not just like, sometimes I believe as artists, I'm going to be real here, sometimes we as artists start not with a proper foundation.
Correct. Yeah.
So because of the fact that we don't know correctly the stuff that we need to know from the jump, what happens is we tend to rationalize what may be the good in what that we do. Like, all right, so my sister here, I really like, I just like Shiva. So here's what I realize. If you're dealing with it on survival,
Yeah.
if that's your basis, survival then means you don't judge it based on morality. You don't judge it based on a righteous thought. You judge it based on if I going to make it or
Or
not.
not. Right.
It doesn't matter if it's a negative, if it's lewd, if it's whatever the case may be. It's really based on my survival.
I understand.
So if I doing this and I realize I gain 10 grand here and I could survive, that is the basis and the foundation that I'm doing my stuff. But is that the proper spot? Oh, Squeezy, you want to say something?
I want to say, right? I understand what you're saying. Well, I know my brother.
Yeah.
Right? But what we're speaking about here is if the negative music, as everybody else call it, the so-called negative music is the problem.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll get into that part just on two. But go ahead, go through.
Right? And why I want to say is this. You say based on survival, if a man getting 10 grand here to sing positive music, he will sing positive music. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, some
Understand what I'm
some people will
saying?
yeah, but go ahead. You got it. Yeah, we're going good. You're going good. Go.
That's true.
Lady Lava singing a song, God bless the children tomorrow, and everybody love this song, and she will go down that road. You know?
Right.
on.
Yeah.
The problem we have
Bring
is
the money, guys.
people, society, people today,
Right.
they don't respect. I'm gonna say, I talk the real now, brother.
Yeah.
People don't respect positive music, right?
Yeah.
You was saying that. Well, you brothers, all the brothers is Christian artists, all is Christians, all is
All they have
gospel
a-
artists, all let's call it, right?
Yeah.
There are brothers on the secular side and sisters on the secular side who does sing basically the same thing you are singing.
Right.
But would the Christian community give them a hearing? No, because they are not baptized, they are not born again.
I
Right.
mean,
Understand what I'm saying
okay,
now?
go ahead. Sorry, I
Right?
won't cut you. Go ahead.
I see what I'm unless it has some I listen to all the Christian station and them. I listen to all kind of music. I listen to Christian station and enough time. And that's some bad Christian song.
Yeah,
but
well.
they don't cross over.
Right.
Unless it on a rhythm. Unless it on a rhythm with negative music.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying? No?
Yeah, that media
Right?
problem as well.
Yeah.
Now, we trying to come to the conclusion that if music is the problem in society, music might have about 2%.
Influence.
If it is the problem, 2% are the problem, my brother.
I would say more.
Yeah,
2%.
I would
because
definitely say more.
So do you tomorrow, if they say if the government decide, you know what, all stations that play gospel music alone, it will sell a crime.
Yeah.
Mango sell bust a gun.
Yeah.
Mango sell
Because-
hungry. Then it have an
no,
underground
exactly.
market where people will be
Exactly.
listening all the youngster tune and things still on the underground, right? But man, it wouldn't really change. It may make it worse.
It
may
might make it
better.
worse.
We don't know.
I
right?
feel it will be worse because see why? It have men like we just say songs when people will sing, and it have men will lie down home and say yeah boy and shake their head and you understand they expressing themselves, they feeling this like me listening to Eminem. You're speaking out. It come as though you're feeling like if you and this music connect now and all is one, right? If we don't have the relatable music, because I'm telling you the truth. When I was growing up and you're just saying, yes, we're singing about Jesus Christ or we're singing about whoever else we're singing about, but you're not telling them about these daily struggles we're going through here.
Right.
You're not
No.
making this relatable with,
no.
with their
No, I mean now
struggles.
now we have it available.
Well, no,
I
right?
have something to say about that too. Don't worry.
When it is, I not hearing about
say.
that, right? And these, it have people who don't be violent,
Right.
but music does calm them, secular music does give them a ease or give them a push off. It have people who does be listening to gunman tune, and that's what I like.
Right.
Because other than you might just hear guns, it have people that would just hear guns. Now it have people who is literature, people who will hear, hey, see that metaphor that man use and
All of us.
like
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You understand?
All of us,
That would be a high for me.
I would appreciate
right?
artistry.
So
Right.
in the end,
Especially artists too.
I'd appreciate
Yeah,
that.
you not really-
Or
you
brother
not
or
going
sister
and
bring
pick up
across
no
it, or
Yeah.
bring across
You're not going to pick up
the
no
whole
gun.
But why-
story,
but
the
why-
artistry behind it.
Why the
So
artistry
it's
had to
just-
be?
It's not just gangsters alone. Just listen.
The gunman
The
too.
thing is that
True.
it's not that it have play. It have Christian people like all that stuff would listen.
Yeah.
To the same way.
No, that's right. Because artistry is artistry. Especially
Right.
if you're an artist, you can appreciate artistry. You know.
Right.
If you're a creative, you could. If you're a song, I'm a big songwriter. I appreciate lyrical. I am big
Yeah,
on
I'm big
rhyming
on-
scheme,
yeah, rhyming scheme. You
similes,
understand?
metaphor. I am big on those type of things.
Even
Right.
cadences
Yeah.
of voices and
Yeah.
stuff.
And I believe everybody in this forum. I believe everybody in this forum under that same level.
Yeah.
Everybody in this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now, what I'm saying is, so there is everybody is artists,
Right.
not just singers, not just entertainers, not just hustlers, there's artists here.
Yeah.
And we talking about our livelihood,
Yeah.
right? Which is music, and is music a problem?
Yeah.
And I say music might be 2% of the problem, where it might just fuel our boy fire. That's
Right.
all the negative vibes, right?
Yeah.
But as I say, out of 100,000 people, 60% listening it, which is 60,000, and out of the 60,000, only about 1,000 doing crime.
Yeah.
I would say more than that.
We
I'm
have a-
confusing.
Some
But
doing-
anyway,
We have
some
a-
doing crime before.
we have a call?
We have a call on the line. Hello, good evening. Talk heavy.
Caller, you're welcome.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
That's somebody.
How are you doing?
Cool,
Good
man.
man. Talk to
We
man.
good, man.
Talking heavy.
So, I've had some of these conversations before, right? And one thing I noticed is that there usually is we kind of go in circles because one group is trying to make a case for why something is bad and it should not be continued. The other group is trying to make a case for why something is not as bad and that things would not necessarily change if you take it out of the equation. So I would say, first of all, the case is not that we saying music is 100% the cause of things.
Right.
We already
Yeah.
established that society has many entry points, and society has a lot of things that influences a person, whether it's the family unit or something external, right? But for the side for or making a case for the music, I will pose this thought, right? So it may not be 100% the cause. It may not be 50% of the cause. It may just have a small percentage of an influence of the problem. Is that enough to make a case for it? Because I could say I can make a case for positive music because I know that at the end the percentage of people who listen to positive music is low, almost 0% of people who listen to positive music is going to be influenced by the positive music to go and shoot down somebody.
Right.
But if you know that there's still a little percentage of the things that you do, because remember we're talking about it holistically. If there's a little percentage of something that you do will cause a percentage of the people who see you to do something bad, are you going to make a case for it? And I'll give you an example. When I'm around little children and I do something silly, I see most of them follow me.
Yeah.
And they will have the one in the group who will go overboard and cause trouble. So should I then say, well, if only one of them will cause trouble, there's nothing, and continue? Or should I recognize my influence and say, you know what, I'm going to take the responsible route and not do this, not because the mass is not affected, but because that one person might go and do something wrong. And then I have to ask myself, is the case I'm making, is it based on the percentage and the statistics that I'm presenting, or is the case I'm making based on the fact that I like it? You understand?
Yeah, good point.
So we have to be real with ourselves and understand the same thing, the same way we say in society in a whole, they like the bad headlines. People, humans, we gravitate to the wrong thing. But because everyone gravitates to the wrong thing, doesn't mean that we should make a case for upholding something that's wrong. You understand? Because then we're going to have contradictions. Then we're going to have our children seeing us saying, hey boy, don't want to do this, eh? But at the end of the day, in the many things that you uphold is the complete opposite message. You understand? So we're going circles thinking that we talking about the same things, but I just want to make it clear that I think that there's some holes in the argument, and we fighting for the wrong thing. Let me fight for something that's more positive. We fighting for the
What is deemed positive?
Understand?
What is deemed
I
as
need to
positive? What let me
I don't think I need
start.
to
What is
define-
deemed as positive? Something that you
Okay.
religious is deemed
No,
as
no, no.
positive?
Nah,
no.
I don't think it's
I'm
a.
asking him something.
I
No, honestly, right?
Just now,
Okay,
Squeezy,
I'm
let
going
him
to-
answer.
I'm
Oh,
let him
sorry,
answer my
sorry.
question.
Yeah, sorry.
So, and I'm making it clear as well that I am not saying the solution is to let everybody listen to gospel music. I don't think that's going to cause any kind of global change because remember, there's multiple touch points. But what I do think is that we wise, we big and we have sense. We know what's positive and what's not positive. It's very clear. If an artist sings something, we could say, yeah, boy, he's a positive artist. If an artist sings a gun tune, we're not going to label him as a positive artist. So I don't need to define.
Whoa.
Why?
But let me tell you something, right?
Why?
I'm gonna tell you something, right?
No,
I'm gonna tell you something, right?
Artist
Artists different to
I'm on-
music. Go ahead.
No, let it call up for the story.
A man will sing a song about a gun, right? And the way we sing this song about this gun, it's so positive that it touch your heart, right? That it becomes that cause now positive.
Hold on. Say that. Wait till you say that. I want you to say that again.
I say a man will sing a song about a gun, right? And he sing this song so positive that it touch everybody's heart because it's how we bring across the song.
All right. So
I feel like you might have to give an example, but
the caller still on, eh? The caller still.
Flashy or
I just
something.
want to touch on something with the man said.
The caller still on.
Okay. The caller said in the beginning, he said, if he do something wrong, right? And one child does, and with a bunch of children, they go laugh, they go think, but one child go overboard, right? And then that one child go overboard, and then next time I be two children going overboard, or because he didn't really see action, right? Or he is up to he to change the actions, right? So no, well, I do something wrong here, and let me show the children the correct thing to do, right? Now, what's going on here in Trinidad and Tobago, my brother, with this music as well as saying this negative music, right? It has a positive side to it also, right? But I just want to say something here before I reach outside. This has been going on a long time. The first genre of music to me, that when I do my history, the first genre of music that I ever hear badness in is from Trinidad and Tobago. Right? Before it had reggae, before it had anybody, before it had hip hop, before it had anybody else. One of the first bad boy song I ever hear was from Trinidad and Tobago. The second bad boy song I hear was from Trinidad and Tobago. Right? So there's one, then two, then three. Now it get out of hand now. Right? But we don't like we as a people don't like to go back and watch where we went wrong from the start now. Right? And all of I never all understand where I'm coming from. Because when you hear 10 to 1 is murder, right? I never follow that song from Sparrow, the Mighty Sparrow.
Yeah.
10 to 1 is murder.
Yeah.
But you talk about he and the men get away and they bottle him down and he pull out the gun and he bust the gun and all kind of thing, right? And then I hear now, Lord related that song where you talk about trouble in the avenue with bottle and big stone and thing and who get chopped and who this and that and whatnot. And that's what I tell you. Then David Rhoda, the great David Rhoda, right? One of the biggest thing ever come out of Trinidad and Tobago, respect on another man. He sang a song about one of the biggest gangsters in Trinidad at that point in time. People might say, well, but at the point in time, that man was one of the biggest gangsters, the man with the hammer, Rudolph Charles, right? So now you're hearing the other youths and them now glorifying gangsters from the area, and we go, boy, look how they glorifying them, right? But David Rhoda them did it before, right? And I could go on with how much gangster songs it had in Calypso. But because it was Calypso, people never deem it as that because they're like, oh God, they Calypso, right? Now we get out of hand now. Because the little youth man down the road who want to buy Pampers, he train because he child mother want to put him in court, what not. And he's singing, God bless the children, and nobody taking them on. And he decided, you know what, I gonna sing Boss Make It, and boom, he started get walk all about the place. So he not doing nothing wrong. No.
He looking for it.
He putting food on the table.
Can I
Right?
interject?
The girl
Can I
down the road, so who singing Jesus like the little children, or let's all live together as one thing and in harmony. And she decide, and nobody not listen to she. I don't know her friends, nobody not listen to she.
Call
her. I gonna sing Skin Out, and she decided to sing Skin Out.
Let it call her
And
the
boom,
response.
she getting bookings, and she cheering out. She can buy a sneaker. She's trying to go to school. He book thing, what. She not doing nothing wrong. So she
Aye.
family, she not doing nothing wrong.
Caller, you have a response. So just before you hang up.
I like to interject, right? And the reason why I'm not touching on something so specific is because we have to step back and see what philosophy we write in it. You understand? So, and I have a saying to say, if something is a true principle, it will be true in all circumstances. By that same principle, you would say that because somebody is doing something for their betterment in society, or their financial gain to support whoever they need to support, if they do something that's not right, that they should get a little bit of a blight because it's for the right reason. So would you?
I never said that. I know. I just said that
to
them they're not doing nothing wrong. But go ahead.
Yeah, you understand? So what I'm saying is let me call positive, or let me call negative. Let me don't
Because the politician who thief any money
No,
with the
but
public gave them.
I don't understand.
He not doing nothing wrong, no?
Listen,
No, we
negative.
not saying
You're
that.
saying no, but what he's saying is right. What he call us saying is let me call positive, and let me call negative.
Agreed.
So in other words, what
what's
it is
negative?
he trying to say is right. Only the songs and them that basically saying certain things he will say is positive. So in other words, he is trying to say that you cannot
Nah,
play
that's not what he said.
just
No.
now.
I
Just
don't-
now. So in other words,
No.
any other man. So gunman tune is what? Die positive, die negative.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vulgar tune is negative.
Fine woman.
Yeah.
Vulgar tune is negative.
Use of drugs.
What is positive
Negative.
music? Tell me.
Stealing. Negative.
What is positive
Adultery.
music in Trinidad and
Negative.
Tobago? What is positive music in Trinidad and Tobago?
It's
You
not,
see,
it's not
this-
about the music.
that question-
No,
Yeah,
this
man,
we
yeah,
speaking
why-
about
right?
music. I want to ask him what he deemed as positive music.
Our
I can-
parents,
I
our
can
parents
interject.
and grandparents and the
What,
people
no,
before us.
Squeezy,
deemed that
Squeezy, I want to
music.
hear
That's
where,
a
what he
positive.
deemed as
Then
positive
listen now.
music first before
Right?
we go
Okay.
further.
Right. So can I speak?
Yes,
go
go ahead.
So I don't have different definitions for different things based on the scenario. I like to have a standard that's consistent.
Right? Was his
So
standard?
my understanding of positive is the same across the board. Positive is constructive. Positive is hopeful, useful,
Okay.
practical,
Okay.
helpful, productive.
Okay,
effective.
so your
That is Oxford
so the
Dictionary.
craft that we what we
That's not my
doing
definition,
what
that's
that's
Oxford
okay,
Dictionary.
yeah, I understand, that's your definition, right? But
No,
remember
that's
is
Oxford Dictionary. Oxford. That's
all right,
Oxford.
okay, that's
That's what I mean.
Oxford, okay,
Right.
but what we saying, right?
So-
Craft, what is craft?
Right. I think that's where and
Craft is
I
one
appreciate
of it.
I appreciate the time for the caller and
Yeah,
also
Yeah.
I think we go have some other people might want to
Yeah.
call as well. So, but
Thank
we
you,
wanna
caller.
thank you so
Thanks,
much for
caller.
contributing.
thanks so much.
Jump in the pot, boy.
I like this program though.
What
No
is
Yeah.
problem at all, man. We appreciate
Yeah,
it, man.
man.
what is
So-
craft?
So here's the thing, right? And this is why it's always good, especially for us who are artists, to make sure that we are clear in definitions.
Yeah.
Sometimes what I realize is because of the fact that we are on a particular path,
Yeah.
and there are things that we have been that we got accustomed to,
Yep.
but we don't have clarity on. We
Hello.
then base these things as foundation. I hear just a squeeze. I
That's
just
not
want to
squeezy.
be able to say this,
No,
right? I know-
let me say one thing before I go on.
Yeah, go ahead,
I just want to
bro.
say one thing.
Go ahead,
Next
bro.
time, I'll put music, I'll put entertainment. It's entertainment the problem, not music alone.
Yeah,
Entertainment.
We can
There you go.
we can
I'll
touch on
let
that
them
eventually.
feel it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying there, but I know
Go ahead, Phil.
the basis of the topic is what
Music.
basically the question. But I understand what you're talking about because it's a holistic thing.
Yeah.
And same thing what oh gosh, I want to call
Keisha.
it Keisha, right? Same thing what Keisha was talking about, the whole community thing. So you talking about entertainment as a whole, Squeezy. She was talking about community as a whole. Now, entertainment as a
Yeah.
whole entertainment as a whole has individuals that make up the particular association. Community as a whole is a group, a networking of a ecosystem that happens with individuals who come together, community.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyhow you take it, individuals are the people who are responsible for making up something in gospel, right? Or let me put it like this: based on as a believer, right? I'm a Christian, and there's a scripture that says, when the righteous prospers, which the meaning of prosper doesn't just only deal with wealth, but deals with mentality, being holistic. Teaching your people home the right thing, having that right mentality, that then it affects your family, and then by extension it affects your community,
Of course.
and by extension it affects your nation.
Of
So
course.
when they would prosper is not just only on the monetary aspect. It's
Yeah.
actually talking about a holistic lifestyle. So when they say when the righteous prosper, the city rejoices, is really a mindset. And what happens is we have to be very clear about definitions, because we could talk about art form. Art form is the expression of a particular craft.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
Right?
I wanna before you go, excuse
go
me, I
ahead.
wanna touch on
No,
I just wanna hit
let's listen.
yeah. I wanna
man.
hit the comment section. I gotta say shout out to each and every one of you joining us live
Big
and
up, Nisa.
contributing. Yeah, shout outs to Nisa.
Big up.
She is on. Candice Francis. Candice is saying positive is uplifting music that is based on the appetite of the person. Morality will of course influence the music for a believer. All right, Nisa is saying, Anthony, the point Lava is making is that positive is opinionated. Everyone has a different opinion on what positive is.
Right.
I actually don't believe that though. You'd never believe, and I have a reason why. But go ahead.
Yeah, Candice is saying
understand
hashtag
why.
holistic. Anthony is replying to Nisa. Yeah, and I think that making it something that's subjective is the problem.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well,
positive music is opinionated.
Right. So what I'm saying here is that I think she didn't not positive. She's just saying positive as in the definition of positive is opinionated. But I actually think it's not.
Right.
I think that everybody stands on a level of morality that they know.
Right.
And it's not even because I told you, you know it. You're born into this world, and you're given, God has given you the ability to identify morality to the point that you would not want your children to do certain things. You don't want your child to steal. You don't want them to run down women. You don't want them to hold drugs and kill people. You don't want. So you already know automatically.
You want them to be a lawyer?
Of course, you want. Why do you want to have a profession to just be a lawyer? So wait, so you think that I don't think that this is the same thing. It's not the same thing.
That's not the same thing.
So
Respectfully, that may not be the same thing.
because I just
That wouldn't be the same thing.
identified certain criminal activities. I said you don't want your child to steal, to kill. No, but understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, just so before I say it, we all have the same. We all have the same measure of morality.
Yeah.
Because in any circumstance, whether you be a Christian, not a Christian, a Muslim, a Hindu, no matter who you are, these are the standards of morality that we all recognize.
Right.
And for us to say that it is not a definite, like it's opinion, I don't think so. I think there is a clear standard because we all shun and protect. If it wasn't that standard, we wouldn't protect people from it. We actually protect our children from it. Though.
Exactly.
We do.
Exactly.
All right, get this.
Exactly.
Let me ask this question, Brandon. Right now.
Society too.
Say, Squeezy, say.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you now. Everybody here, well, is artists and whatnot, right? This song from Tupac Shakur, Changes. You ever listen to that song?
I can't remember.
I can't remember, but
I honestly can't remember.
Never listen Changes from Tupac. No, you never listen Changes.
I dwell know me.
I just can't remember. I know some of it.
Right. Changes will come across to certain people as a real positive tune, and then to other people will come across a negative tune. Same way.
Right.
Because it's an expression. This is what people not like. All right, you're saying uplifting, you're saying all different things. I sure it have tunes where a man might say, certain things, but you might just hear AK-47 and you never listen the entirety.
No, but that's not what I'm saying.
That's not yet.
I'm just saying some people
Yeah.
will do that.
Because I'm not saying just because you put a negative element in a song that makes the song negative, because I can, as an artist, you tell stories, and in my story, I can put a villain, I can put a protagonist, and I can put an antagonist in the story.
So
I
what
can
if
put
all
that in the
these
story.
songs that you're hearing is remember plenty of them is storytelling,
I don't believe
all of them is storytelling, no.
These days we don't have stories anymore, and that's why with back to what
you really feel the artists at Trinidad and Tobago.
Plenty of them sound not so.
Not stories.
Listen, some is storytelling, some is storytelling, some is people telling other people's story. Listen, other people. So some of the artists in Trinidad and Tobago just watch things and sing what they see. They're not bad.
No, but that's not how they're saying it. I listen. I
Exactly.
listen.
So this is what I'm telling you. Is storytelling where they're telling another man's story, right? This is not what they are doing.
I took my time to listen to some gunman tune coming up the road, I take my time. I take my time to listen to some gunman tune coming up the road. And I said I want to listen to see if I could even at some point, because there are some songs obviously as an artist I can relate to the story of what you're trying to say.
Right.
Some of the tunes I pull out from the Tiny Man Get Up, all he's saying is crack skull, shoot him. And he said we're gonna drag them down. Who gonna drag man down to hell? And listen, I was not able to clearly identify the storyline. All I knew is that them fellas and them just told me 100 ways how to kill a man and how to be hate, how to be upset. And like it's just that's all.
Right.
It wasn't so craft has changed. Craft has changed.
Craft has changed.
Some of them because of social media and as Squeezy was saying, the things that accepted now. Because back in the day, it had Merciless, Bounty Killer, all these people were singing gunman tune, right? But all right, remember, we in this world,
right?
Where everything is not secret no more.
Right.
Long time, everything was a secret. Growing up as a young lady, your mother is not discussing certain things.
You didn't have the reach.
You understand what I'm saying? You don't have the reach, but now everything is on social media. So everything now is raw.
10 years ago, right?
Raw, plain.
10 years ago. 10 years ago, that Trinidadian, we couldn't sing no badness. They never used to sing.
Yeah.
Right? And because of social media now, all this come. I used to get bashed for slackness. I was a slack man. I did real role. I get bashed for slackness. I am smart artist. Right? I get bashed. Right? Now, what I'm saying is this. This time we living in now is a serious time. And I say something just now with Sparrow and everybody else to say this when the man was on the phone now. Right? 2 people was doing it back then, so nobody was having a problem with 2 people doing it.
Yeah.
Now let me say 200 people doing it, everybody have a problem with it. Right? But that is the outcome from the 2 people before. Right? Who started. So everything that starts somewhere, we just allow certain things until we can till it get out of hand and we start to complain about it. Right? So my question to everybody in this panel tonight is this. Do you all think music is one of the main problems? And how can we fix it then? Let me hear it. If all the think music is the problem, how can we go about fixing it?
I think
as
music...
as a people, as artists.
Cool, no problem. So, to answer your question, bro, from what I believe, music is one of the contributing factors, right? Now, the heart of men, even with or without influence, they will make the decision on whatever it is that they want to do.
Correct.
But we also have to realize that some people move heavily on influences, and that's where we as the artists shouldn't just look at ourselves as just people who just paint or people who just bring out a particular idea. We have to also understand the weight that we have. We've looked at YouTube. I mean, Squeezy, you all in the game long time. Lava, Brandon, Jez, everybody here in the game long time. We've been looking at YouTube concerts from since back in the days. You saw a Michael Jackson concert where he just jumped on the stage and he stood up there for 15 to 20 minutes. The man sing a word. The man just jump out, prior thing, blow, stand up for 15 to 20 minutes.
Not even so back, bro. Look what happened when it was last year with the Travis
Will.
Travis Will.
Right?
Not Travis Will.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
Right?
Yeah, sorry.
Travis Scott.
I think that was the name of the show. Travis Will or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It was pandemonium in the place, Michael Jackson they had to find extra officers outside of the venue to come in and take people out because big men was passing out on railing.
Yeah.
Not just women and teens, you know.
Correct.
Big men, big strapping men had to be carried out. You understand, Travis Scott? That was another kind of pandemonium thing, and that's just two.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing about it is, we have to understand that we have a responsibility. What does happen a lot of times is we have gifts, we have an art form. We know that, like my sister here, real gifted, my brother here, real gifted, and you know it's something that you have to do. And yes, it may be the fact that we zealous in what we have to do, but we don't have the necessary things or the people who now kind of like streamline us. All right, cool. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Which comes back to the first point of individuals.
Yeah.
Individuals need to be trained. And bro, Squeezy, I totally agree with you. Long time it had that, probably not highlighted as much as now.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that because of the fact there was a long time and it was only 2, that made it right.
Correct.
It was just that right, and that's what the caller was talking about. Principle.
Yeah.
The principle is this. The principle stands. Don't matter subjectivity. Don't matter preference. Because let me give you a quick example. I don't know if I know you have a child.
Yeah.
I don't know from Lava, but
Yeah.
can you do your same music to your child
Yeah.
without thinking about how this is going to
Affect them.
If you're not going to do it to them,
Consider other parents.
consider other parents who have children who you don't have the control over. Like, you can't finish singing your song and say, hey, it's just an art form. Because they go be like, I don't care what you say. You tell me to go and pick up my 9s and run down and liquid a man brain.
But
I go and do that.
let me
Because-
let me throw something out
I
there.
want to ask something. If it's a career, right?
Right.
You would do that with every career that you have.
You see, that's the thing. We've created, as Brandon said, we've created a literal, we create a cycle that there's no accountability.
Yeah.
We've created a cycle that there's no teaching. So in other words, as long as you survive, as long as your career and you getting called to wherever nations that you're getting called to, and you're getting paper, you finish at this stage, before you hit the stage, you get your back end, so is the case, your business fixed. You do business if somebody just hang themselves after you finish perform,
Yeah.
you getting pay. Right? So you getting pay. You was gonna say something, Jess? Before?
No, I was gonna say, right. So some might argue,
Right.
that it's a parent's responsibility to guide their child
Right.
and determine what they're exposed to,
Right.
and not
I
necessarily
agree.
that of the artist. How do you respond to that?
Yeah. So again, go ahead, bro.
No, I totally agree. I agree that it takes the responsibility of a parent to guide. Like, I generally don't blame artists largely for the influence over my child, because I am also very adamant about what my child gets to listen to,
Right.
what content she is allowed to hear. You understand? Because that is my responsibility as a father. Now, but I also still had what some of the new fathers don't have, which is some traditional, foundational, moral upbringings.
Right.
Not everybody has to come from the same background, but they had moral.
Yeah.
You know Trinidad and Tobago society that had some moral
Had some
principles.
as he was.
Yeah,
talking
some
about.
moral principles that you had to be grown up on.
Yeah.
But now we have a new generation. These new generation, then they culture differently.
Why?
Because of what was happening before that transfer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So is
No,
that,
I'm
is
not saying. No, I'm not saying that
is
the
that-
music
is
is
that-
the number one responsibility.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying I'm saying that it
For me,
promotes it.
It's a before problem, because I remember a long time, most of every child wanted to be like their parent.
Right.
They wanted to be that role model. They wanted to be that. Who's your role model? My mommy, my daddy. Where we left from, mothers and fathers, or these people being the role models to the entertainers being the role models, where it is people so scrutinized on what it is an entertainer say or do, right?
Right.
Why it is it reached to that now? Because
Well,
long time you will say, lawyers, who's your role model, this one, that one, and
Yeah.
all these different people, right? So like now, what happened that what social media?
Probably it's part
Yeah.
of it as well.
It's
No, because
We have
the
a-
reality is music transcends even when your parents stop talking.
Oh,
I can listen to music without my parents though. I
Yeah.
can be in my bedroom. I can listen to music 24/7.
That's one thing right there. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good evening. Talk heavy.
Yeah, as you said, talk heavy, I was just sitting like this. Is it still there, right?
Yeah.
I remember growing up in church when listening to my shrink at a concert and going concerts and things. And when I come home from school and rain falling, I hear in the rainy weather when it's cold outside. It's like, yeah, showing and them trying to teach me one thing, but the music in this rainy weather, how I lift you up and back you up and it's sung in real life. So, but it's only after a while I noticed, well, okay, how the music is really influence on mine and the thoughts and the conscience. But as a young man going back to 3 and second coming up from school, the really, I don't know what this thing was.
No, let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. I want to tell you something, LG. I want to tell you something, therefore, you don't know this for me, right? I, the artist, was never no radio artist, number one. Most of my songs was on the ground, right? Radio weather thing, it played. As the only artist I believe in Trinidad and Tobago that ever tell any promoter, do not call me for no children's show because my content is not for kids.
Right.
Right? And if it is you listening to my song, your parents here listen to my song and them tell you take off that, they take it off because I didn't make that for no children to listen to.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying? You know? But they would listen to it. It's like, what Brandon was saying where the parents is, where the parents at, right?
Yeah.
Long time you're
Because-
trying to what 63? Y'all know it's 63.
No, right now in this time when we live in here, right now in this time when we live in here.
You're trying to what 63 and you cannot do it.
You're going parties and the same children and the parents lying in the same party. Little children and the parents lying in the
But
same
now
party.
people want
All
less
the-
responsibilities
A
for
lot
the
of
children.
values get through the window
So
now.
they need somebody
Right?
to blame. They need things to blame.
But
They
some-
want to be less
but-
responsible
But
for
then,
the children.
but then some parents let the children get raised by artists too.
Because they want to have less work. They want to have less work to do.
I think that's a strong point, you know, because I remember, right? Like, mom, dad, if you're listening, listen, these are my confessions. I guess you can say that. My father was strict, right? We couldn't go no party and thing.
Right.
So your boy say, well, I go in Trin City Mall and night with my friends. But I in a house party in South. And I tell myself, I had to, oh God, look, my father, come on. I had to kind of thief a chance. And I used to be lying outside and I seeing people, parents pulling up
Yeah.
and dropping them to the party. And I used to be like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And it late, you know, Jed.
Yeah.
It late. I look into Chan, see if I could reach home
Yeah.
before I sit in hour.
you wanna
Them
bust
no reaching the party.
You wanna bust out.
You understand? So that's a big point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started to run away too. I started to run away and go party.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know my mother comes
Yeah.
to me
Yeah.
in the party.
Yeah.
Running away and going to parties is not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about how music
Influence.
and negative music affecting the youth and them, right? We all, at the point in time in life, well, you know, all the brothers you grew up in church.
Squeezy, before you finish it, let me just say thanks to the caller. I didn't realize the caller was still on the
Hey,
line.
caller, thanks so much.
Yeah, man, stick on.
Thanks
We
for
appreciate
your
you,
input,
man.
Still late? All that, I don't know you still late too. But what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, go through.
All of us, at that point in time in our life, we used to have to sneak to listen to certain songs.
Yeah.
We had to sneak out to do this, we had to sneak out to do all of we go through that time in life, right? We having this discussion here right now because everybody believe it reach a stage where the music so influential on the youth of today that something needs to be done about it, right?
Yeah.
Nobody know what to do, and the everybody's solution is, you know what? Let me fight down this particular style of music here.
Yeah.
Right? Because this particular style of music is the problem. But what about the other style of music where they play for carnival? That's not a problem too, right?
Yeah.
What does only teach you to drink and wine and thing, and that is a problem too the same way,
It is.
right? And what about this next set of music here? So where people deem positive, but is a man singing about the whole negative story, but he's singing it so sweet that it's singing positive and everybody love it.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying, right? And then the Christian community now, right, where the gospel artists and them had this way, Like I watched some years ago. Let's say I don't know Tupac changes. I'm sure I know Kirk Franklin sing with R. Kelly and all these other
Yeah,
people who
yeah,
people might consider to be heathens, right?
Yeah. No,
Kirk Franklin have big
to the
song with
heathens?
them.
No.
Right?
No heathens. Go ahead.
Oh God, I just say what I say.
Yeah, I know you're doing.
Kirk Franklin did a big song with these people, right?
Yeah.
And here in Trinidad and Tobago, you don't see that kind of thing happening,
Yeah.
right? Because the gospel world and the secular world, as all just call it, let me just say, Brandon is to do a song with Jah Melody. That's gonna have backlash on Brandon as an artist.
Yeah.
Don't care how positive the song is.
Correct.
It's gonna have, because why you doing a song with Jah Melody? When Jah Melody is only sing about love and thing and Rastafari and love, that's all you sing about.
Yeah.
But yet still, it will have a problem, and this is where the whole thing, because if a youth man singing a positive song, right, and nobody in the secular side ain't taking him on, but a gospel artist hear him and say, you know what, youth, that song bad, come, let me go in the studio, blam, 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 and put he forward, give he a platform, right, even though he might be a born again Christian or whatever, but even though you give him a platform and show me this is where you have to go, thing, and mentor that youth, right, eventually, that youth go touch other people's lives the same way, but that don't happen, right?
Yeah.
They go take a man like me to carry them in the studio, who saying cock it up, girl, wine for me, right? And if it's gonna talk and all this kind of song and the man say.
If I could comment on what Squeezy saying there. Now, Squeezy, I
just after I finish, we just go to a quick break, right?
Yeah, so I could respect what Squeezy is saying. And Squeezy, let me tell you the reality of the situation. As a gospel artist, it is not that gospel artists doesn't have a desire to, because we see a lot of positive youth out there. A lot of, and we recognize positive influence. I write a tune that I wanted to put out a second artist before, I just never drop it because I understand how the market is. But here's the reality. So we know that
now, you never drop it, right?
I'm gonna say that now. I gotta say so in our circle, the demand, the requirement isn't just simply skill and talent, it is also lifestyle. This would be the problem that you tend to find. It's not necessarily a problem. It's not a bad thing to be held to a standard too, that people expect you to try to live what you sing.
Right.
So with the gospel industry now, it is entertainment, but it's entertainment plus lifestyle. So what they want is that a parent who is saying, okay, you come on the gospel tune station, even if you're singing a positive gospel song that it is not very, very churchy, but still, what they want to do is when they go on your social media, they want to still see that, well, you still is represent positive things, and that it wasn't one-off. Because it tends.
So you're building a character, basically.
No.
But the reality. No,
that's the reality.
Let me respond to you.
Just
I understand what you're saying, but like you didn't ever say. Where you, as that person, can mentor this youth now, because this youth coming from a dark place.
No, well, we can mentor them. But to say that they will automatically get onto a track may not happen. But only not one time, because what the mentorship would have to include is ensuring that the youth would be willing to represent what he's willing to sing about afterwards. And that is where it tends to get a little bit tricky, because some youths may not want to start a change.
No, but why it getting tricky? It don't need to get tricky. Don't need to get tricky.
What's going on? I love this. I really love this. And we had to take a quick break, right? We pressed for a little bit of time. So we'll be right back with more Talk Heavy podcast. We're talking heavy.
Podcasts are everywhere today. And at Mended Studios, we speak live to all podcasts. Have you or your group thought about having a podcast? Do you or your group have a podcast and want to make it better? Whoever you are, wherever you are located, Mended Studios is here to mend your wonderful ideas with great media. Take your podcast to the next level. And if this sounds like you or someone you may know, get in contact with us at 337-6709 or email us mendedtt@gmail.com.
All right, so you don't want to miss one of the most anticipated events of 2022. It's called Emela on Yes, Yes, on Saturday the 8th and Sunday the 9th, Soundforge comes alive at Christopher Samuel Drive, Mukarapo.
Yeah,
Tickets cost $100 and VIP only $300. Look out for artists like Positive, Jay Prince, Jazzy, Nahiled Blackman, Fahrenheit, Mark Isaac, JD Anissa, and much more. The cast goes on and on. So it's 2 days. It's the album launch of Emailer. Our brother Brandon Best, who's on the inside, he's going to be hosting this event. So,
Boom.
Big up, Brenda.
yeah, so everybody in this conversation here right now, invited to Emailer.
Right.
Tickets, General 100, VIP 300.
VIP 300.
Right?
Things to eat and drink. Remember
You
that.
don't know.
Yeah,
Right? So Brandon,
Continue.
you wanted to...
Let me just respond to something quickly. Deborah Dale in the comments, you're saying, what is a positive gospel song? Deborah, don't get offended. What I'm saying is that not every song that we write as Christians would be a song that is speaking only to one direction. As Lava rightfully said, we have to, as Christian artists, we should also write for the youth and everybody going through an experience from a Christian worldview. So I can still speak about a song that tells a Christian or even anybody, it could be anybody that could tell that person, don't worry, God has your back. That is not necessarily a churchy gospel song. So what I mean by what I'm saying, positive gospel, we are still creative, so we write songs that can still reach the hearts of people from a Christian worldview. So not all of them is going to be, and so don't take it as offensive. You see, because this is what happens. And I had to respond to them because, and Squeezy, this is exactly what happens at times. So I just said, all I said was positive gospel, and now that made that.
Okay. Give us a call, Deborah. And that's the thing, it has some non-labeled gospel songs from non-labeled gospel artists.
Correct,
that does connect with people. That does connect with me on a spiritual level. That I could relate to.
I want to talk to Brandon. Brandon said a while ago, with respect to marketing and the lifestyle and everything has to fall in accordance because, you know, when people come into your page, right? This is from a people perspective you're talking about, right? With respect to the people that listening to your music. So basically, this is you staying in character. You would like to do something, you would like to work with another artist, but you didn't do it because staying in character with what you're singing about or what people perceive from what it is you're doing, meaning like the gospel music and so you won't really go on to do this song with a secular artist now, even though it's positive, because then when people come and look into the lifestyle, you want them to be able to see as an example. But what I want to ask, right? If you do a song and the song is positive, why the person have to be a born again Christian for somebody to accept the words? Because then again, we could have born again Christians, right? That people are saying there's born again Christians, right? And they could bring a message or they could sing a song and they have fault still. Understand what I'm saying? Because fault is part of life.
I agree with you.
Understand what I'm saying? If life didn't have fault, it wouldn't have something called repentance, where it is we going to repent. So which means mistakes are there to be made and nothing not going to be perfect. So being like, oh, I now said that, right? I don't understand why it would be a problem for you to do a song like, oh, you were saying it just now, you know, with respect to marketing and your lifestyle and people looking on, right? You within yourself, I think, you within yourself, once you know, right?
Correct,
You know where your heart is.
Correct.
You know the relationship that you have with God,
right?
Which is a personal relationship. Your relationship with God not so sad to do with nobody else.
Well, it kind of does, but go ahead.
So, when it is you go to do other things now, right? Meaning like you're going to do this with our next artist, is a positive vibe, and you know he come and you'll do whatever. You try to mentor him. Not everybody would remain. Some people is backside. Some people won't get the message as soon as. You understand what I'm saying? But you did that. But you know saying is like if you hold this responsibility to other people that looking on that won't understand everything that you're doing. So you know hold back an opportunity.
No, but so this is also a part. So it's not just no. Before I even go to the, because this is a Christian worldview. It is a biblical command. There's a realm where I and any Christian artist has to be very careful of how they operate because they can cause another believer to stumble. So, for example, a young believer who just come out of a bad man life, and I take up a youth man who was just singing bad man tune, and he ain't really changed yet, but he come on, and that young believer see me wrote him, he be like, wait, nice, I'm confused. So sometimes it confuses their walk. So for us as Christian,
why should that be there?
no, it could confuse him because he's still young in Christ and he's still growing in understanding, and because of that, he's not mature. But hear what I'm saying. No, but hear what I'm saying. This for me, this is still a Christian worldview because it's still what we supposed to do, right? So we are supposed, So we are supposed to be very conscious about how we do what our actions, because I could, for example, it is not a sin to drink alcohol, but if I drink alcohol in front of a certain believer and I cause him to stumble, that is a sin.
That's a sin.
But if I drink alcohol with my wife at home, I take a little small glass, it's not a sin because we do have the same conviction. So it from our worldview.
Don't understand that.
Well, right. So from our worldview, we can cause somebody else to stumble, and because of that, that's one of the issues that you have.
You saying, right?
Just before you go, right, Squeezy, we have Deborah Dale on the phone,
called?
right? Yeah.
Alright. Hi,
Deborah's
Miss
online too.
Deborah, come through,
Deborah.
Deborah. Come through.
Hi. Pleasant. Good night. I
Good
think
night.
I know Squeezy face from Shagona, if I'm not mistaken, but I think I know face from school. What you just now, this is where milk and solid food separates us.
Right.
What he was saying is right. If you have a baby, and you put a baby, you ever saw where they put the baby with twins or something to look at the mother and look at the twin mother and the child gets confused?
Yeah.
If a growing Christian who is on milk is put in a position to see me as a worship leader, Deborah Dale Pierre, I am worship leader, and you see fraternizing and singing with the on tape, and I want to call the most raucous name, lifestyle have exported young youth. You will question my walk as a child. I will confuse you. The word of God says, what does light have to do with darkness? Shun away people who are not serving God spirit and in truth, yes or no, but there's a line of demarcation. And this separates us as children of God. I'd bless you with Christian because Christian lose real people Christian. As a child of God, a born-again believer of Christ, we are not to be seen doing the same thing that the world does. The word of God says the world hates God. It hates the light. How can I say I'm lifting my hands, worshiping God, exalting Him, and then coming to sing a song with somebody talking about skin back here, this and wine back that, and that does not reflect Christ. You live your life, I live my life. I am a child of God. I love you unconditionally. I don't not you serving God, but you see mixing, you see that, but they don't. They literally are next to each other, but they don't mix. That's what Christ wants. We cannot mix. Salt water and fresh water cannot mix.
I understand. Miss Deborah, you think if the pastor fall, the church should fall?
Yeah, that's that. That's what I say, right?
What you said, lady?
Just not Squeezy.
Let me hear what Lady Lava saying.
If the pastor fall, falls from grace, if you think the church should fall or would fall?
And I'm going to tell you something. I assume I've seen pastors fall.
Yeah.
I've come from a church where a pastor falls. And the only way another child of God falls is if they didn't have a relationship with Christ.
A personal relationship?
A personal relationship. I'm telling you, Lady Lava, I came from a church where they literally wrote a letter and put me out of the church, my husband and myself.
Yeah.
That same church where the pastors fell into adultery.
Yeah.
If I did not have relationship with Christ, I would have cursed God and walk away.
Right.
But my eyes were on Christ. When he took
Right, and you know, Miss Deborah.
Wait, Lady Lava, wait. Me come from even church. I am tattooed. I used to cuss pink. I would have sex out of marriage, so nobody can tell me I just talking Christian talk. I live in the world. I know what it is to live in the world. But you see that sweet taste of Jesus, when I tasted it, I could not go back.
Yeah.
I couldn't go back.
And this is why I love what she's saying. I love what Miss Deborah is saying, because this is my point that I was trying to draw, where it is you have a personal relationship with God, right? And that's how it's supposed to be, having a personal relationship with God, whereas the word is what we're supposed to take in. The word of God, the message of God is what we're supposed to take in, and not necessarily the messenger, right? Because
but wait, I know where you're going. What kind of song you just sing? Let me ask you.
I just sing real hot song, but I grew up in Wesleyan Holiness Church till I was about
you see, it's
20.
Not the church, eh?
No, well, I grew up learning the word of God. I grew up, you know what I mean, right?
So imagine me, Deborah Dale Pierre, who sings worship, and Lady Lackas, I don't know you. I don't listen.
So
to
it come as though we just
when I travel.
It come as though we just flip, right? We just flip,
so
because I was the song leader. I was the praise and worship project a long time. I was a girl, right?
So if they didn't know Lady Lava to sing that, and you see Sister Deborah Dale Pierre singing with Lady Lava, I am telling you, I would call baby Christian to fall.
Yeah.
Because we're not building that relationship with Christ, Lady Lava.
Not people. Listen.
Hold on.
Thank you, Deborah.
Miss Deborah Dale, we have to thanks
Miss
so much
Deborah,
for
thanks for calling and thanks for your input.
Because we have one last blessings. Thanks so much. We have one last caller. We have Nisa on the line.
Hey,
Nisa.
Bap.
Nisa, big up you.
Nisa.
Just now, but
Right after you could go after Squeezy, right? Hello, good evening, Nisa. Talk heavy.
I'm happy.
Here all you. Like wildness. Hello.
Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah, go through.
Loud and clear.
That was our session. What I talk about, like, on this,
Raise your volume, Nisa.
Nisa, you're kind of in and out.
I don't know. Better now?
A little better.
Yeah, a little better. Continue, we'll see.
Right. So what I was saying was, something that was very hot, and it kind of just changed my perspective on what I really wanted to see.
Right.
He was saying, no, it was not when Mr. Deborah said what she said. And you know, I have this argument of the we cannot see up with a church of this thing. What fellowship was like having that?
Yeah, Nisa.
Yeah, she phone breaking up.
Yeah.
You have a next device playing
the
podcast
because you're soft.
Because they're going like it loud and then it goes soft.
In and out.
I have no device.
You have on headphones?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes headphones just cause that.
Yeah, song a little fun.
I actually don't have on headphones or anything.
Oh,
all right. Talk to me. Go ahead.
All right. I did a song for somebody's funeral. She was a secular artist. A Taylor. And we did a song on somebody's funeral. She did a song with what she played in the business. Yes? And it would have been a positive message, but based on what Ms. Deborah is saying, we just basically not supposed to have no kind of dealings with people who don't subscribe, knowing God how we know God. And I think if that is how we're going to continue to live life and still be holding a torch, we're actually not doing this thing wrong. Because at the end of the day, if we cannot engage people where they are, whether it's a funeral, whether it's a birthday party, right? If somebody is not, I believe I should have a relationship with Christ, such as if I decide to do something with somebody that is not of the fold, my own conviction should be needed. I shouldn't be just like, oh, well, I could girl going in that side of the room, they talk to me, we can't sing together, all because you're not there yet. So
Good.
that is cultic thinking. That is just me. Right? I have done church for years, and a lot of us have a form of godliness and no power. We are
Agreed.
not the Holy Spirit. We are not Jesus Christ. We just have a mandate to love people and meet people where they are. And at the end of the day, every single one of us has sin and flaws. We wake up and we still have to ask God for forgiveness. So nobody better than nobody. We need to take it on and learn to love people right way and stop judging people out of positive conversations like what Mr. Brown is doing. And I say that in love. Have a
Amen.
All right,
Right,
thanks,
yeah.
thanks
So-
for calling.
No, before I go.
Yes, Squeezy,
you
go ahead.
You say.
Right. Like everybody miss what I say. Everybody miss what I say.
I think they hear. I think they hear. You know,
Right.
they think they hear.
I
Just,
tell Brandon. I said to Brandon, right? I said, Brandon, you got artists, a young artist. You discover young artists, what is the talent, what is the skill. He's not met in Christ, he ain't baptized or nothing, but you decide that, you know, I'm going to carry this artist to the studio, I'm going to mentor this artist.
yeah.
And at least you then, your expectation, and he will come around, right? And like,
Correct, yeah.
and like, show me your friends and I'm going to tell you who he is, right?
Yeah.
But people go watch Brandon, and we're all saying is this: people go watch Brandon, and Brandon, you say too. Everybody go watch you. Lineman with this man or moving with this man. When is the other way around? This man moving with you. It's
Right.
you showing the man the way.
Facts.
This man not showing you the way.
Yeah.
Right?
I know it's here.
And this is people not understand.
Yeah.
You mentoring this youth. You trying to bring this youth into the light.
Right.
You realize the man have a talent, and you showing them, yo, this is the way
But
to
he
go.
just saying the
You
fact,
tryna bring youth
Squeezy,
to
that
Christ.
people will judge him from what the man do.
No, well, let me
So
just
if
give
judge
clarity.
him, you can't judge.
No,
you
but
can't
that
judge
what
him from what the man
society will do.
No,
Because-
no. Anyhow you take it, guys.
That's
No,
not people. Hear me.
you go through. You go through.
Hear me, please.
Go through.
Then if it's so, then if it's like this, right?
Mhm.
Then this topic we having here tonight, it will never have a solution for
Exactly.
it,
Right.
right?
I get what you
Because
say.
the positives, the so-called positive artists and them, then I say that no, right? Don't want to or cannot mix with the negative
With the
artists and them as they
negative
say.
to bring them
because
over.
It had no hope for the negative artists then. Like really lady now come and say it had no hope for it had hope for she, you know. But it had no hope for nobody else because the church go fall down. Right? And this is the problem where I just have with life and people in society now, right? It takes people like Brandon, Justice, my next brother, I'm gonna forget his name.
You know, he's still in,
Still
man.
in.
Small thing. Still in.
Still, it take brothers like Olia, right? Who on a daily basis had a humbleness
Yeah.
and does always try to project the positive vibes on life to help the youth and them right now.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Because most of the conscious artists and them in the secular world, them don't really live by what they say. Right? Plenty of them does say one thing on record and they live their life
Different.
different than the whole. This is why the youth and them doesn't want to follow them. I've been really taught here. Right? And this is why the youth and them decide we go and carve our own path. They love everybody them make their own path and them go their own way. Right? Because all they're saying this, but we see all they living so and that don't make sense. So they know let me do what I do and don't tell me nothing. Right? And it is the more positive artist. I am man already. I am man positive with life and things.
I
like how you say it, with life. Yeah, go through.
That's the next thing.
Go through, bro.
You get judged from your art.
I back on the side. I sit down with a youth and try to show them the right way, what not thing. If I come to me with any kind of music and I can help them, I help them. Because that's the kind of man I is. I never fear nobody talent. I don't care about nobody. I don't care who he is, a gospel man is, a this, that. I don't care.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. You gotta
And this is how
appreciate-
it's supposed to be in life right now because I don't know by big Bible man and thing, but Christ, disciples, wasn't born again people.
No.
Yeah.
Right? None of Christ's disciples was born again people. All of them were sinners. Before they meet you and before they started rolling, he was rolling with sinners.
Right.
If you had to judge it by today's standards, Christ was rolling with a bag of sinners.
Yeah.
Right? So then the church fall long from since back then.
Right.
Understand that? All energy.
Me, my
I
like,
respect
yeah.
I respect the gospel community. I respect the Christian community.
That's
right?
a little to
I respect the way all the brothers do all the thing. Some of the songs does crossover, some doesn't crossover. The one
Yeah.
that does crossover does make up heavy mark.
Yeah.
Man like Positive, Jaron Nelson, they make heavy mark. J Prince, all them fellas, the songs
Yeah.
crossover, they make heavy mark.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is what we need, G.
Yeah.
Right? The youth and them need to see our way well. Watch me. This vibe here is not really the right vibe to go all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, I can sing my gunman thing, but let me sing 2-3 positive songs.
Yeah.
Let me mix it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the problem we have in here.
Yeah.
The brothers who had the positive vibes, they staying away from the youth and them.
Right.
And this would have always been part of my objective with this platform,
Yeah.
Talk Heavy Podcast. Where else you could find a man like Sterling Roberts having an open conversation with Squeezy Rankin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brandon Best talking with Lady Lava. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
And I mean, even if Squeezy Rankin do ever pour a song with Sterling Roberts or anything,
Yeah.
Squeezy Rankin might have certain network, whereas the positivity could reach a certain market. Just as you say, the crossover, which is what Jaron Nelson and Nathaniel and
Right.
Positive and them doing.
Right.
And this is the purpose of the Talk Heavy podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
So people with different mindsets, different ideas and perspectives could come together.
I think
Right.
all of that stuff. The lady who called just now, right?
Yeah.
The lady who called just now, she said something that I didn't agree with now, boy, because she said, oh, Christian people are not supposed to mix with secular, but yeah, it is. We're on a Christian platform tonight with 3 Christian brothers, and I is our old Swanky man, Miss Queen Swanky, and we on this podcast here, right? And the same people who say they shouldn't make, they calling and giving their opinion the same way.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying or not?
It's love,
right?
it's love.
So if something like this could happen, then the music could happen the same way too. And life could happen, everything could happen the same way.
Yeah.
Right. And Squeezy, here's the thing. Yeah? That is why I go back right to the first thing I was telling, what we was talking about. You see definition. Now, Trinidadian, we have a way of saying one thing, but it is really something else we're talking about.
Correct.
So, in other words, when people say mix, and then the topic was on mentor, that's 2 different things. Eh?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Right.
2 different
That's
things,
what I'm
right?
talking about.
Yeah, because I can mentor a youth.
Right?
That's what I'm
I
talking
can mentor a
Right.
youth.
Now I could mentor, and I've done it. I know Brandon has done
Many-
that. Jesu,
many
everybody here who's been able to do that, and it doesn't matter what background they are in.
Yeah.
Mentorship doesn't study where you came from.
Correct. Yeah.
Mentorship is to bring you into a place that you need to be.
Correct.
Right? So it don't matter. You could have a background that you was a gunman before. You could have all kind of questionable thing. All kind of thing in the background.
And that's
At the
what-
end of the day,
Remember that
mentorship.
was saying, no?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
saying, no?
Yeah,
No,
no,
but
no,
right.
and that's why I'm agreeing with you on that. But then when you talk about the
that was tell Brandon.
Right.
I didn't think that was it.
right, no, that's
I don't do that.
mentor, that's mentorship. But you see the mixing now, and let's go back to the same full circle in this whole topic. The mixing beyond as a believer, the highest thing for us is not the art form.
Yeah. Is it life?
What is really dictating our art form
Is it life?
is our submission to the will and the lordship of Jesus Christ and whatever else comes out from that. So if your art form then flows into social commentary, if it goes into about love life and how husbands supposed to treat their wife, how people are supposed to raise kids, how a society, how politicians, it have believers who does write some hard hitting songs.
Yeah.
It's just we not familiar with it in our demographic.
Correct.
But nevertheless, this is what we are. This is higher than our art form. Our art form is fueled by that. So the mixing part is what the belief now start to put 2 different lanes now. So it's like, here's what we're not saying not to love people who not believe in the same thing that you
Correct.
That you believe in. We're not saying not to interact with them,
Correct, yeah.
But there is a line that has to be drawn. Not to say that if you all come with something nation building that doesn't go against the convictions of what we are led by,
Yeah.
we could do work with people. I mean, sometimes, all right, everybody inside here, I don't know, let me know how much time I have. As far as, so basically it's like this. I've done work with videographers. I have a good friend who's a videographer, and he's not a believer.
Yeah.
But
Nah,
here's
that man bad.
right?
That man bad.
With my music videos and stuff.
We
I'm
work with
sure-
a lot of people
right?
generally.
And we do a lot of work with producers and other people who don't have the same mindset.
Yeah.
But what is the gist of what we do is based on a particular job that does not go against what is the leading thing for our life.
Yeah.
So for us, above art form is the life. So everything actually funnels from there. So for me, this is just me. If I know I have a good partner, whether if I mentor or not, I would rather mentor somebody
Yeah,
before I actually do anything. And it's not to say if future that mightn't be the case. You understand what I mean though, bro? Because at the end of the day, my lifestyle and who I believe in has a directive for whatever, because it's more than just how I look in public. It's really how I am to him. And if he says no, based on word, as my sister say, I don't do that. That doesn't mean I don't love you, and that doesn't mean I don't mentor.
Yeah.
It just means that I'm on a different path.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be any judgment for that.
Let me just say one thing, because all I want to also say is, now Squeezy and Lava, I also want to let you all know that that doesn't mean that the Christian and gospel community doesn't have areas of strengthening to do.
Exactly.
Now, because I understand the points that Squeezy and Lava are trying to bring forward as well. I understand that
totally
what they're saying is that, a person, the church should not fold on the actions of one person, or even if a person, if someone is trying to influence someone in a good light, that the church shouldn't fall on that ground. But what I'm saying is that we also have to agree that we as a community, we have work to do, and if we want music, if we want to also shape the minds of the youth, and shape the community, we also have work to do. But this is bigger than you and Lava Squeezy, because this is a theological issue. There's a teaching issue for the church. Yes, and it's a teaching issue where we have to go through scripture and we go through and maturity has to happen. But before we get to that place of maturity, we still have to use wisdom. Now, so I was still saying we don't mind, we can mentor people, but it's just that to get
Let
me just get some last statements here. We have from Squeezy and Lava, just about half a minute, right?
Remember,
go ahead, Squeezy.
Yeah, right. Remember, let me go fast. Remember this whole conversation is about the music, the negative vibes, and if it
contributes to society,
right? It contributes into the to what going on in society today now, right? And as I said before, I believe in about that 2% or 3%, because most of the youth and them, the background they come from, they just sing for that demographic alone, right? You only know that music because the radio playing it,
Correct.
Understood, yeah.
Right? All only know that music, that they only sing for a certain demographic of people alone.
Yeah, that's true.
Understand what I'm saying? Right? And brothers, all as myself, everybody, all they have a big part to play as Brandon now saying, all they can do plenty, Jet.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
And then all they can do plenty, because in this community, I think plenty of the youth men believe in God, but yet still it are nobody. The mentors is gangsters.
Right.
So they were these people and they sing for these people.
That's the same thing that I said in the beginning, where it is I said the positive entities do not pull the people. And same thing what Squeezy was saying, where he say, okay, Brandon mightn't carry the person to the studio, but I would. You understand what I'm saying? And when they come with me, wherever they want to sing, this is the talent, I will let them express themselves. However, you understand what I'm saying? So it comes as though now the positive people are not coming forward to. Not only you all are talking about that, speaking about everybody on Facebook who does have something to say, the business people, all these people, you're not coming forward and investing in these people. So in the end result is you have no say, because you didn't help me reach no way. And the people who they deem negative will take the money and give them. So in other words now, this person's lifestyle will be something they will look up to, because this person helped me when I didn't have nobody else to help me. When the positive didn't help me, the negative helped me. So how now you could come and tell me, however they point it in positive and negative, or however they want to deem it, right? So the people who come and help me is who it is I go look up to. You understand what I'm saying? You come and help me, I looking up to you. You understand? the positive didn't help me. They didn't even tell me good morning. You didn't even tell me good morning. Let me start the yes, whoever you is, and you feel it is whoever you is. But you didn't even say good morning. And let me start with that. It had people who I had to correct with that. Because why? You seen me on the side of the road, I selling that riders do. And they will pass straight. But then they will come back to me now to try to give me something. As the same person you passed a while ago. Yeah. You didn't even say, I wasn't worthy of your good morning. I wasn't worthy of that. But then they will want to come now to give me a message. You understand? So it's simple like that, and I know we press for time, so everybody enjoy the night. Well, we love Dean and all these nice things. You know, so, stay on the path where you had desire, whoever online, and if you could do better, do better. If you're doing your craft, do your craft. And I know me, I just stand by my word.
Hey, Jez, this topic.
Yeah, we're gonna have a part 2.
It's real.
Yeah,
it's real. You do me, bro. I know, but I always had to be this person in every room. As we close, just to let everybody know that we know also that the biggest issue here is obviously not music, but the biggest issue here is the heart. And what people need is transformation in their heart first.
Very
Facts.
true.
And
Very true.
I will always advocate
100
that in order for society to become better and healed is that men need to transform their hearts, and our heart is only changed by Jesus Christ. I always have to be that person in a room.
Nah, that's good.
Because we had to tell you the truth, brother.
Yeah.
I love everybody.
I like that person.
Love everybody.
We like that person. We like that person. Don't be tough. But yeah. So I mean, we could conclude that music does have an influence, right? The intensity for positivity needs to increase. If we saying, hey, I positive, we can't be saying in our corner, this group here alone, and we just being positive by ourselves. We have to reach out to people regardless of where they are, who they are, what they're doing, or whatever the case is.
Real.
Right?
For real.
So, I mean, I love this conversation. It was really intense. It was really heavy indeed. I want to say special thanks to Squeezy Rankin. I think he dropped off already, right?
Big up
Squeezy.
Yeah, shout out to Squeezy Rankin. Much love, Sterling Roberts, Brandon Best.
Big up man like Sterling.
Big up.
Lady Lava, assistant from long time. Right? And this is home. This place right here is home. Talk Heavy Podcast, Mendes Studios, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, this has been another great edition of the Talk Heavy Podcast. All right. Look out for the Nautical Hour Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. All right. So you're gonna start your day the right way. All right.
Yeah.
With that being said, we had to leave with some local music. All right. And this is Rock Solid from the man himself, Sterling Roberts. Right?
Yo, this is Rock Solid from Sterling World Premiere.
Jesus, you are rock up. He's already righteous. Those who trust in the Most High, it says nothing can move them.
Nothing can move them. Nah.
Rock is solid and his walls high. It's built like walls round Jerusalem. The wicked won't violate the righteous with violence. No need for me to stand up against them. The evil will not remain over the righteous state. Like Romans 8, what can separate me? Those who trust in the Most High, it says nothing can move them.
Nothing can move them. Nah.
The rock is solid and his walls high. He's built like walls round Jerusalem. So no matter what them try, they can penetrate the hill that surrounds me. Covered on every side,
Still can penetrate the mountain.
Jehovah is my guide.
Still can penetrate the mountain.
Your presence brings peace that surrounds me, and your glory is around me. Thank you, Father, you love me. Those who trust in the Most High, it says nothing can move them, because you are the rock solid mountain.
Jesus, you are.
Because you are the rock solid
mountain.
Jesus, you are. You are the rock solid
mountain.
my great cornerstone. You are.
Jesus,
You are the rock solid
mountain.
Jesus, you are. Jesus, you are.
Jesus, you are.
Solid. You are the rock.
Solid mountain.
Jesus, you are.
Jesus,
Hey, you are. You are the rock solid.
solid mountain.
And nothing can move him, so we will not be moved.
Don't be too dramatic.